Hey there guys, Outlaw Dolphin here, and we're going to continue on with our Dragon Age Inquisition, and we're going to begin exactly where we left off in Crestwood. We still have 1 or 2 tasks to complete, and then we'll be back to Skyhold to continue our investigations of Grey Warden disappearances. Okie dokie then, bright and sunny Crestwood. I think our remaining task is to hunt and kill the wyvern that is in the wormhole. If we follow a cave system, what's that? Inform Charter. Ah yes, then we need to inform Charter of Butcher's fate. That will give us a quest for Liliana. Side quest, nothing too important. First, we're going to unlock the camp, which is just up the hill. Then we're going to go find the Viridium mine. And we're going to knock on the door of some Venatori as well. This continues on. We've just spoken with Stroud. And he's told us of, he just told us, keep being interrupted. So we just spoke to Stroud at Hawk's behest to find out why wardens are disappearing. And it turns out wardens are disappearing because they've been duped. Come on. There we go. They're hearing the calling at the behest of Corypheus, which is not good. Okay, so we need to start following... Oh, damn wall. We need to start following the lyrium. That will lead us to the Venatori. The sooner we deal with them, that will lead us to where the wyvern is hiding. Let's see if we can get out of here before the other wolves arrive. So yeah, we saw these lyrium formations through the storm before we cleared Crestwood of its undead problem. This is what you could see from Caer Bronach. And it does beg the question to what Dorian was saying. So yeah, there's the window that we looked from, and this is the formation that we saw. It does beg the question of what Dorian was talking about in the quest of In Hushed Whispers when we was in Redcliffe. If this is an infection...
Red Templars ahead.
Tough bunch ahead, or they think they are.
If this is an infection, why is it coming from the ground? Later in the game we speak to a character called Bianca Davry, who I believe is an on and off recurring character because of Varric. And there's a Viridium up there I want to get in a bit. And she finds out that it's an infection. It's not just an infection, but it has the blight. Which, oh no. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. These rogues that the Templars have are bad news. They are one-shot killers if they catch up on you, and they are of the correct level. Or if there's the correct gap of a level between you and it. It's been the bane of many playthroughs. So yeah, Red Lyrium has the blight. It's not just an infection, it's the worst kind of infection. And that causes, a lot of these things we will discuss when we do the Descent DLC, because it will come up again then. You see that lyrium is a vein, and it's cleverly put that it is exactly that. A vein to a living thing of unspeakable size. And you'll fight a very creature that defends it when you go into the Descent DLC.
What's this?
No, 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 I pressed X at the worst time. No, I don't want to do Asterion. Viridium, Obsidian. These are all very nice metals and they come in very good, decent numbers as well. And this camp that the Venatori have here is quite full of its own loot. Around a... it's exalted... No, it's the Emerald Graves that has the Viridium mine, but there is a stash of Viridium where the Wyvern is living, which is useful. And I just got Fade Touched Viridium, so if you remember in the last video I also got Fade Touched Stormheart, which is something I'm definitely going to be interested in seeing what it is. They hold random stats, they're not fixed. A lot of them can be different, but there are some very useful ones. Like you can add Fade Touched Metal that has the skill, the ability to like create guard every time you're hit. There are also sigils that do that, so you can imagine stacking the two and you're unkillable as a warrior. There are a few stats for the Night Enchanter which can do the same thing, and that's the Enchanter I'm going to create. Literally unkillable. I've fought one-on-one with dragons on very tough difficulties, and they're just not able to kill me. Sealed Orders, Knight Templar Sturge. There's a small ruin in the hills above Crestwood. A tiny place, but it's old and elven. So leave no stone unturned. General Samson's orders. You've been told what to look for, so I expect to report once you're done. Copy down any elven writing you see. Knight Lieutenant Morn. I made him sound like a gentleman, didn't I? A lot of these characters you'll never ever see. A lot of the characters you fight are unnamed miscreants. Or as Dorian likes to put it, his minions. That is a group. I'm actually thinking of setting the groups I take with me. But I need to think it through a little bit more. Characters that bounce off each other well, so I'm thinking like having Solus, Cole and Blackwall for a couple misadventures. I think that's what I'll do when I'll head to the next area. I should have enough to give them some decent weapons and armour, hopefully. Oh, what have I got here?
Around?
Oh, is this a bottle? Yep, bottles of Thadus. Very annoying. I don't need this deep mushroom for anything. But I'm probably certain I missed some obsidian along the way. There's some viridium, and you'll see some scattered around the walls. This is the Wyvern. And sadly I have no focus. It's not a fan of fire. Sadly it has lightning defense. It doesn't like cold either. This is not going to go well. No, it's not. All these creatures, they seem to like ganging up on me. If I had some focus, I could use Mark of the Rift on them, and that would really do us a lot of justice. And I really need to give Iron Ball some better armour. It just seems like one attack just seems to do us in. You can see setting the Wyvern on fire does tend to do its job. Decent ice damage. They do have a poison. Wyvern gland. Wyverns do drop Wyvern glands, which can be turned into demon runes. Yeah, so damage against demons. Arachnids, or large spiders, which you tend to encounter in the Hissing Wastes, and you find an awful lot of giant spiders in the Frostback Basin. That was the first DLC. And the spider glands do dragon runes, which is awfully useful. So you can see my lightning damage is really doing nothing to these guys. There you go, so I just picked up a staff, a unique one called the Fade Knocker. I believe it's a lightning damage as well. I don't tend to use anything that I pick up. Like I said, if you see my characters wearing anything, using anything, it's stuff I've given them and made personally. Just makes everything... Sure, it means I have to farm for like a ton more stuff, but it's worth it. There's nothing more powerful than things you make yourself. Especially when you have the right schematics. Because this staff that I have here is not even the 4th most powerful staff I can make. I think it's the 5th. And this is using tier 1 metals, and it's already kind of OP for the areas that we're going through now. Of course, Western Approach will catch up with us, and definitely Hissing Wastes. So we are now going to go back to Judith, who would very much like to know that we've killed the Wyvern, and there's more Templars in front of us. They've already respawned. The bastards. It's a good job they don't like lightning damage. Who would very much like to know that the Wyvern is dead, because she wants it for gutting, so she can make rat poison. Because Wyverns drop poison glands. There we go, and we're going to loot these guys for our troubles. I'm probably going to armour up my character for when we get through the Western Approach. We'll probably play the Western Approach in this armour. I'll probably take different characters with me, so that we can start to mix it up a bit. I really wanted to take Solus, Cole and Vivian, but being a mage myself, that means I have too many mages and I need a warrior to tank up the hits. I need someone to taunt specifically. That's something that I can't live without. Once again, bandits in front of us. Oh yay. Nice one, Bull. You can see that rogue. Oh, Fade Touched Velveteen. So this is what I mean. Fade Touched Velveteen applies the following to any crafted weapon or armor: a 10% chance to use hidden blades on a hit, with added 3 hits. So that means if you that hidden blades is a rogue's ability. We're not going to fight these guys if we can avoid it. Judith is to the left. That means you can use that Velveteen on any armor, warrior, mage alike.
The next time we run into a line of enemies, I'll pick you up and throw you.
Get off.
No, this could work. I loft you over the front ranks. You land behind them to flank. Mayhem ensues.
I can't fly, you daft tit.
Think of the mayhem, Sarah. Mayhem.
I'd get a wedge up something fierce.
Look, you and Varric are the only ones small enough, and he's pretty dense.
We'll do some bloody presses. Need something?
I've killed the wyvern.
I killed the wyvern up in the cave. The body's yours if you want it.
That I do. Here for your troubles. I hope you can make good use of it.
I'm not rightly sure what she gives us. Now that's awful of me. I've forgotten what I was talking about. Happens. So down there is a storm drake. A storm drake that I'm not going to mess about with because it will ruin me in this armor. Particularly considering I have a lightning weapon. So right now we're going to go back to Caer Bronach and talk to Charter. Okie dokie. Hello again. I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
The hills, Inquisitor. They're studying a set of elven ruins. Why, we're not sure.
I found Butcher. Dead.
I found Butcher's corpse by the South Road. Red Templars ambushed me afterward.
Only our highest operatives knew he was coming tonight. I must inform Sister Nightingale we have a traitor.
Farewell.
I should be going.
Another time.
There we go, so that's given us a quest to do. We also need to talk to these guys down here. They're going to talk of another spy.
Lilla got caught in Valchavan.
No!
She fooled them into thinking she's from the court in Valrior. They'll treat her well. For a while.
It's awful for sending her out without a partner.
An agent was captured.
Are you saying one of our spies is compromised?
Yes, Inquisitor. Miller was captured in Valchavan.
She was after valuable information. Perhaps arrangements could be made to bring her back.
And that's given us another one. So as far as I'm concerned, that's now everything in Crestwood that we need to do that's particularly urgent. We can begin to head back to Skyhold. Okie dokie. So here we are back in Skyhold. Before I make some equipment for the guys I want to take with me to Western Approach, we have this. Our throne. Yeah. Looks pretty darn awesome. And we have the option to sit.
Impressive, is it not? Fit for a leader, meant to show influence and the burden of it. It is where the Inquisition will sit in judgment. Where you will sit in judgment.
And who will I be judging?
Who will I be judging exactly?
Those who have done wrong. You will know of them, at the very least. All this presumes they have survived their initial encounter with you, of course.
Well, that's a grim responsibility.
Still more lives in my hands.
You are a beacon of law, Inquisitor, as others retreat from responsibility. But this needn't be bloody. The Inquisition's sovereignty is derived from the allies who validate it. You are both empowered and bound. Justice has many tools. If their application is clever, execution may even seem merciful by comparison.
Then let us begin.
Is there anyone I should judge?
Take the throne when you're ready. We will bring him before you.
So I believe we will have a few people to judge right now. 2 at least. Maybe a third, not too sure. There will be a side job to do for Liliana, Cullen or Josephine in order to capture and bring the mayor of Crestwood here, seeing as how he's on the run. We will be able to judge him in time, and I certainly will. Right now.
This was a surprise. After you return from the bogs, we discovered this man attacking the building with a goat. Chief Movran the Under. He feels slighted by the killing of his Avar tribesmen, who repeatedly attacked you first. What should we do with him? Where should he go?
Are you still a threat?
You're a chieftain of the Avar. Will your attacks persist?
A courtroom? Unnecessary. You killed my idiot son, and I answered, as is my custom, by smacking your holdings with goat's blood.
Don't look at me.
No foul. You meant to murder Tevinters, but got feisty with your Inquisition. A red-headed mother guarantees a brat. Do as you've earned, Inquisitor. My clan yields. My remaining boys have brains still in their heads.
So you like to fight Tevinter, eh? Off you go.
It seems our conflict was accidental, Chief Movran, but it can't be repeated. I banish you and your clan, with as many weapons as you can carry, to Tevinter.
My idiot boy got us something after all.
It's curious how even Dorian approves of that decision, and I think almost everyone does, apart from Vivienne, which I suppose that's not too odd. And we have another one.
You recall Gerion Alexius of Tevinter. Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination on your own knife, no less. Tevinter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former magister as you see fit.
These are indeed grave charges.
I remember what would have happened to Thedas if his treachery had succeeded.
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Will you offer nothing more in your defense?
You've won nothing. The people you saved, the acclaim you've gathered. You'll lose it all in the storm to come. Render your judgment, Inquisitor.
You can do many things here. Because you're a mage, you get this pretty unique one. Your magic knowledge will... Your arcane knowledge, that of also being a mage, you can turn him tranquil. If you... There are very few that Dorian approve of. Of these three, the imprisonment, the execution, and tranquility, Dorian will severely disapprove. So I'm going to have him researching magic.
Your magic was theoretically impossible, Alexius. I could use people like you. Your sentence is to serve, under guard, as a researcher on all things magical for the Inquisition.
No execution? Very well.
There we go, and we're done there. I'm going to take a few minutes to make some stuff. Here we go. So what we just saw is that once I finished creating some equipment for the companions, I then started to do some of the war table quests, particularly one that you want to do as early as possible, and this is getting specialization trainers. So you have here your trainer. She will teach you how to become a rift mage. This gentleman over here will teach you how to become a necrophage. And Commander Helene is the woman we want to speak to become a knight enchanter.
Hold and declare, Inquisitor.
What do you mean?
I ask your intent. I was summoned to oversee training, and I would know my charge. I am your commander in this matter, Commander Helene.
Welcome, Commander.
Thank you for coming, Commander Helene.
Commander will suffice, recruit. I teach the skills of the Knight Enchanter. It is a rank. It is a life. Understanding its hierarchy is the first step. You already know this. You were not made Inquisitor and then taught to lead. I will teach you how to rise to your place, how to join your warriors, spectral blade in hand, how to command the ranks while standing beside them. Are you ready?
Show me what's involved.
I'm ready to learn what you know.
Then we will begin the simple steps, recruit. And we shall see what heights you reach. You have a task, a simple construction. Go, learn, and return. Soon you will lead from the front. Soon you will command.
There we go, so we need 10 lazurite, that's easy enough, heading to the western approach. 3 wisp essence. Now you get that from killing wraiths, which are the kind of green little kind of ghostly looking spirits you come across. Not going to talk to the others because this is what I want, even though those quest markers that you see on the mini-map on the left will be there forever. They will never go away. You can only take one specialization. We're not going to talk to anyone around Skyhold at this time until I have done the Siege of Adamant, and then we will have a plethora of dialogue to pick up. Quite a lot, in fact. So off we go to the western approach. Commander Cullen, our scouts confirmed the Inquisitor's report. A large force of Grey Wardens has moved into the western approach. We need to establish a foothold out there immediately. Knight Commander Rylan.
Sir, welcome to the western approach. We've sighted Warden activity to the southwest, but no one's been close enough to figure out what they're doing. Between the sandstorms and the vicious wildlife, we haven't made it far out here. One of my men got too close to a poison hot spring and gave me a slightly delirious report of a high dragon flying overhead. In short, this might just be the worst place in the entire world. Be careful out there.
Thanks for the warning.
Well, it's good to know what I'm in for.
Sorry I don't have more for you. We intercepted a Venatori messenger and, persuaded him to give up the orders he was carrying. We have them here. This entire place. It just feels like something's not right. Be careful.
And in truth, nothing is quite right out here. She's not wrong about that.
Word for you.
I do have a particular route to get through out here. Particularly that to do with the minerals that we will find out here. But first, let's just level everyone up. There we go. And I've also made a new staff for myself, one that's slightly, just a little bit more powerful. And we're going to come across an awful lot of this stuff. Paragon's Luster. We found this in Crestwood. There's a megaton of it out here. Especially Lazurite. Lazurite I'm going to be keeping an eye out because I need that for my specialization. I only need 10. Lazurite comes in like groups of like 3 and 4. once you pick them up. And here we go, our first rift in the western approach. Oh god, that terror is on me. Let's get out, get out, get out. No, no, no. I'll mark of the rift. I could use it. I won't use it. Oh. There we go, not too bad. Could have been a lot easier, but it will be after we do the mineral run. God. Dreamer rags. Not what I need. Frost essence. So cold rooms are coming up nicely. You're going to see a door to a keep here. Gates of Toth.
No good. We'll have to find another way.
These gates are actually kind of smart. In most games you'll see a door that's locked and then you'll see a switch on this side. Fair enough. This place, it's smart. It's the complete opposite. The lock is on the other side, so we can only open it from that side. So first we'll continue with the mineral run, which is going to lead us into a lot of Venatori action as we follow. The good thing is that once you've done a complete loop, you can load out of the world and then come back in, and all the minerals will have respawned. So you can do this. You can get an awful lot of Paragon's Luster very quickly. It's quite useful and something I'll probably do off camera, because I do need the metal. That's just a gold purse. We're not in need of gold. I am in need of getting up here, however. There we go. Can't rightly see that one, but it's there. There's a ladder there. We don't particularly want to go for that one. We could, but we're not going to. Yes, there's a hyena there. There's some Tevinter crap going on down there. We're going to deal with that in a second. First, spider. Spiders do not like cold damage. I don't think that spider dropped anything for me that time. Once you get up here, Paragon Luster again. We're going to have an awful lot of it by the time we're done here. There we go, we can ignore. No, I don't think we can. We won't ignore this because I want the chance of getting something from the spiders. We're just going to heal up. There's the one thing, I could easily make some really good armor and we'd all be defended to the nines. We wouldn't have to worry about anything. There you go, here's your first look at Lazurite. And already I got 5. Lazurite is a higher tier metal than Paragon Luster. It can give you more attack, more defense if need be. And already in here, ton of spiders. And spiders, if I'm right, do not like cold. Some red lyrium here that Varric will have us destroy. I missed. There you go. We got this to read. A note from a Templar, Benedict. Pull up stakes. All plans for the mine in the western approach are off. The Inquisition's on the move and headed your way. Dump all the bodies and relocate to Empry du Lion, Vernon. So they began mining out here. So red lyrium must have been out here in
detestable.
In a rather large number. They've already mined most of it. I'm just going to jump all the way up here. There's still some metals up on the top rail. As well as some herbs that we're just encountering for the first time. And a chest. We're not going to bother with the mushroom like we didn't in Crestwood. We're only here for the metals and the occasional spot of level we pick up from an animal that I fight. There you go, so that cave will bring us out to the other side. More lazurite, nice, and already got 10. It's just the wisp essences. I picked up 1 from some point somewhere. Probably the fallow mile. Here we go. Already on the other side you can see the cages that that the Venatori were using. There's another cave here. We're going to here. And you're going to see also what the Venatori were doing.
What happened here?
And here we go.
I can still work. I can. I don't need much food. The guard laughs, says he doesn't need me anymore. The blade comes down.
So by the ground, you can tell blood magic. A body with lyrium growing out of it. And whatever this thing is meant to be. It's very Soul Edge, Soul Calibur. A scrawled note. Lewis. S says get the Templars whatever they want. No questions asked. So stop asking. They want refugees and travellers, and we'll get them. Marius. There we go, more lyrium destroyed. We will find out which travellers and which refugees they were talking about in just a moment. Right now, we're just still going to be jumping for mining. There's an awful lot of Paragon Luster out here. There we go. Oh, no, not quite done. And you'll hear that rift that I've just activated by close proximity. That will be our next there? No, it's just called beer. It's just weed. Kingsfoil, that's a weed. Hyena. There we go. So we can examine here, and we will find some research supplies. If you're thinking that Cole is odd, he is that. Exactly that. Considering our conversations with Solus, he's not invisible the same way that Sarah would be right now. If Sarah was here and she was invisible, she would be kind of like a white, gaseous colour. He's green. It should tell you everything you need to know. The boy is a spirit. And I believe he has some lore implications for stuff that was going on during Dragon Age 2 or Origins. I can't quite remember which one. In short, Cole was the ghost of the Spire. In a lot of ways, he's also kind of one of the reasons why the Mage Uprising happened. Albeit a very indirect one, and also direct at the same time. It's rather unfortunate, but a lot of things he did for compassionate reasons. And I say compassionate for a very good reason. Go to the other side of them. Close this one now. I missed all this metal on the way down because of the rift. Not a lot, but a decent amount. So this is where the Tevinter dumped the bodies.
Strange. Why didn't they take the cargo with the carts?
And we'll be finding a lot of the research supplies. The people that they were killing were people who were trying to study dragons. So you'll see this road will take us back to the camp where we started. We're going to go the other way. Otherwise we're just doing the whole loop all over again, and we've already done that. I wish to go this way this time because there is a quarry just in the distance. This will help us complete requisitions for Skyhold. And we are going to need a number of them, and there is a particular perk I can take. And right here we have another quest to examine this little statuette. Old Chantry trail signs. The Chantry used these symbols long ago to mark trails to hidden locations. They are often mistaken by passerby as simple carvings in rocks and trees.
A Chantry symbol out here. Odd.
That will lead you towards a... there's a cave just in... if I face north, it's in the south. We'll head there at some point. And as we walk along this road, it should be this road, we will get one spectacular sight. Hopefully. If it is this road, could be the next one. I think it's the next one. Once we pass. Yep.
Watch out! Dragon!
So that deluded report that Harding had of a high dragon was not so deluded. There is in fact a high dragon out here. It's tied to a quest, so you can't actively look for it and find it like you would in most places. There is a particular quest you have to go through. We will go through it slowly, because it takes some fortune. What we are going to do right now is bother the Tevinter mercenaries. If I can just get these minerals. Got it. Somehow. And we're going to bother these. Actually, you know, off the roof. Oh! I'm standing on top of an ice mine, so I can't move. Until he did. Here we have an ice barrier in our way, not too difficult. This means the remaining enemies around us are fleeing.
If the Venatori sought something here, it may be worth finding.
There we go. There you go. This place is full of loot, so you want to kind of have empty pockets when you come here, because you're going to walk out with them quite full. It's not a problem. There's going to be an awful lot of demons in here at some point. First, Morven. Alexius has failed. The work here thus becomes all the more vital. Secure the site at all costs. The Elder One will not tolerate another mistake on our part. Service. Service is a gentleman, we will find. And he is out here. But first we have this. What is this? A preserved note. A preserved letter found on a body of a messenger. Baloran, you were right to doubt. Heladius will not be swayed. If this letter was sent, then it is sealed. Send aid. Sarpedon. Clearly that's a letter from a long time ago, judging by the body. Here we enter the still ruins. Not steel as in metal, steel as in not moving. Rocks floating in mid-air. Venatori and demons locked in combat. What on earth is going on here? There we go, that dealt with all of them down there. Now it is hard for me to suggest exactly when all this happened. I mean, with the rift and the demons, you kind of have to imagine that this happened quite recently. Venatori orders. A short letter accompanied by a map of the western approach. Several areas have been circled. Lucanus. The references are obscure. They point to a single power sealed at the height of the old empire. Tevinter's involvement in the region predates the First Blight. Detailed accounts of the location are non-existent, but there are some promising leads. You'll be provided with men and supplies. Do not return empty-handed. As you can see,
Much fear. It's spread across everywhere.
disable the time magic.
Everything's frozen. I don't think this was the Venatori.
Slowing time like this would require great power. It may be what drew them here.
Time-altering magic. Let's hope this proves less trying than Redcliffe.
I hope so too. There are a few doors that we can't open here because I don't have the perk just yet. Oh, thank God I don't actually need them. You can tell that this place was kind of dangerous because you can tell by the look on these terror demons they're not the ones we've been fighting. This is actually... God, you can see that's his mouth right there. That thing is creepy. The four kind of pronged mantis-looking things on his head. That's a greater terror. We will find them once we are a lot later into the game. Thank God they will not be here when we actually disable the time magic.
The texts describe a chamber. This must be it.
There we go, so there's some Tevinter down there. There's a mini-boss down there, so don't worry too much. I'm just going to slink off to the right. There you go, more demons and more dead Tevinter, and more fighting Tevinter. What have we got here? Research notes. Sarpedon would cast no doubt on our work here. I expected no less. He is Balaran's man. If he thinks to deter me, he will not succeed. Who accomplished anything through such fretting and hesitance? Let him be placated by his pointless precautions. If he wishes to question the validity of my theories, perhaps he should look more closely at his own. Ooh, Tevinter burn. And we're going to take this from you. Keystones open the sealed chamber. Blood to start. A few hastily written notes are scrawled below increasingly perplexing diagrams. Blood to start. Then from the channel itself, the slave trader had 6 strong enough for the task. Preparations are in place. Sarpedon will call one final meeting. I must speak with the others in advance. Not too sure what that one's about. Chances are we will find it in time. You can slink off to the left. They will not detect you. Somehow, even though you're running. And in here, there's a book. I need this book. Nothing pops up because this is a quest item. Now I'll take this.
Your knife is big.
It's a sword.
It's bigger than mine.
And now you've made it awkward.
Scrawled notes accompany several complex diagrams. Theoretically, it should be possible to draw energy from the Fade itself. I will not discount the obvious dangers. Such risks can be circumvented through use of a proper channel. Once the channel is stable, we should be able to manipulate the energy to our will. The power gained would be beyond measure. At this time, theory will take us no further. If my hypothesis proves true, it will be an achievement unrivaled by any in history. That will all but ensure the immortality of the Imperium. We can energize this. We're not going to... Well... Yeah, I'll energize it. I can't remember where this rune is. No, I know precisely where it is. So we're going to put that down for now. Tell a lie. And... Hi there. Nope. Lucanus is the new boss here. He's the one that we've been reading about in some of the notes, although not all. And he's frozen solid. Thank you, Solus. And down he goes. He himself has a keystone.
Carrying this stone for a reason. It bears a distinct pattern. A keystone, perhaps.
Keep searching. There may be more.
And then the other one we will find all the way across. So they're dotted out throughout, but there's only 5. You'll notice that these keystones bear striking resemblance to what we would pick up if I was using the Ocularums, but I'm not. Collect keystones to open the chamber. Now enter the sealed chamber. So you can see this was the last point of defense. And this door looks eerily similar to something Girion had in the future.
Is this what they were after?
Be wary. It may still be bound to the magic used here.
Oh, yes it is. Before I pick up the staff, there's a note just here. The journal lies open on its final entry. Hiladius ignores all results that do not support his own hypothesis, brushing them off as anomalies and expected deviations. He posits that there will be an acceleration in the channel's creation, and will no doubt test the theory without guaranteeing a secure channel can even be maintained. I have argued the inherent risks of the catastrophic tear in the veil that will result from such foolishness, but he has the others convinced. He grants only a sneering permission to conduct countermeasures in the event of failure. If I am correct, the only course of action will be to redirect the resulting power into sealing the event itself. The odds of survival are less than ideal, but surrounding lands will be preserved. So it seems whoever wrote this was doing the world a bit of a favour. They used blood magic to create an event. Seems like one of the mages who was studying time magic paused time to stop the event from happening. We're just going to go pick up that torch, the Veil Fire, because the rune is just in there, in that chamber. Thank you. I think once we've done this, we're going to go liberate Griffin Keep. That is the castle on the hill. We can take as a hold for the Inquisition. There it is. Spirit Room. I already have that one, but there you go. Now you know where that one is. So drop the torch. We're going to take the staff. The Tempest, which is quite a powerful staff. Ow. That put me in my arse.
I think time's flowing again.
It's all free.
Whoop.
And done.
There you go, so you see we're fighting terror demons, but they look nothing like the ones that we saw in the main hall. There we go. However, this means it's only worse the further in we go.
Hurry, before this gets worse.
This isn't worse.
Very funny. Oh, despair demon. Nope.
Sense elven magic somewhere nearby.
Do you sense? Come on, stun. Nice. You do want to get rid of the despair demons as quickly as possible. They will dismantle guard and barrier protection very quickly. Their cold damage will also affect stamina, I believe. So if you're a warrior fighting them, you really do want to have someone using fire damage. There's another one over there. And we are done.
It's done.
That's enough demons for one day, frozen or otherwise.
You know what? What I will actually do is that I'm going to leave Griffin Wing Keep for the next video. I think what we'll actually see, you can see they've already started to respawn because I left the area. It's all good. What I'm actually going to do is leave Griffin Wing Keep for the next video. We are going to actually meet up with Hawk and Stroud, as I believe that will be the more important task. So here we are fighting White Claw Raiders. They are in the what's the word? Research device. Yay! Scrawled note. Caravan of refugees drove off road so we could collect out of view of Imperial soldiers. Half died. You can pick up the wounded. Something strange is going on. They are actually under the guise of Venatori. You can make no mistakes there. These raiders are here by the employment of the Venatori to deter people from the area. But then if they do end up coming into the area, to also kill them. There we go, so you see that scrawling mass of spires out there. It's where we want to get to. And you can see there's a bit of a problem over there with that gaseous fog. It is indeed sulfur pits.
We have to turn back. Someone at Skyhold will have a solution.
So there's a bit of a problem. You can attempt to walk through it. It's just very debilitating. I've never attempted it myself, so I'm not too sure what the extent of the damage is. Probably not very nice. So there we just picked up a phoenix tail. We need that for a quest as well. That was very fortunate. Trust me, it's hard to pick up some of these items that you need, because there is a gentleman towards the south who will need these supplies for something. He's hunting he's studying dragons, particularly hunting patterns. Particularly that of hunting patterns. Oh, let's see, because this is a quillback. This is part of the draconian family. It's quite impervious to lightning and cold. So let's try a fireball. Oh yeah. See if I can get lucky. Nope. You need quillback intestines for whatever he wants them for. We're going to deal with this rift and then take a sharp right to where Hawk and Stroud are. Oh. Dealt with that appropriately enough. Especially like putting coal seems to have become stuck in place. That is not a good sign. There we go. So you can see how much of the wildlife will not inhibit each other, especially when they're both carnivores, which a quillback most definitely is, and a hyena definitely is. Anything for me? Leather. Just the leather. The leather is useful, but we need those intestines. They are part of the quest, but you can get them anytime. Now this is a peculiar rock formation, because it suggests, to me it suggests, that through Serpent Stone, there was once water here. Because you find Serpent Stone in the Storm Coast, which is where water is, because it rains a lot. I don't know, I just like the idea that this place was once part of an ocean. Here we go.
I'm glad you made it, Inquisitor. I fear they've already started the ritual.
It has to be blood magic. I hope we can stop them before more people get hurt. You take point. I'll guard your backs.
Wait! No.
Warden Commander Clarel's orders were clear.
This is wrong!
Remember your oath. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death,
I'm sorry.
sacrifice. Good. Now bind it just as I showed you. Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, at your service.
You are no warden.
But you are. The one Clarel let slip. And you found the Inquisitor and came to stop me. Shall we see how that goes?
Wardens, he is deceiving you.
Wardens, this man is lying to you. He serves an ancient Tevinter Magister who wants to unleash a blight.
That's a very serious accusation. Let's see what the Wardens think. Wardens, hands up. Hands down.
Uh-oh.
Corypheus has taken their minds.
They did this to themselves. You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
Even Tevinter.
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared. I went to Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan. Raise a demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
Oh, that demon army, was it?
Ah, I was wondering when the demon army would show up.
You knew about it, did you? Well then, here you are. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They're now my master's slaves. This was a test. Once the rest of the Wardens complete the ritual, the army will conquer Thedas.
And what's in this for you?
Do you really want to see the world fall to the blight? What do you get out of this?
The Elder One commands the Blight. He is not commanded by it, like the mindless Darkspawn. The Blight is not unstoppable or uncontrollable. It is simply a tool. As for me, while the Elder One rules from the Golden City, we, the Venatori, will be his god kings here in the world.
Why risk using demons?
Why would Clarel risk using demons?
Demons need no food, no rest, no healing. Once bound, they will never retreat, never question orders. They are the perfect army to fight through the deep roads. Or across Olay. Now they are bound to my master.
Why kill old gods? Not that I think that that is what they would actually do. But why?
Why would the Wardens try to kill the old gods?
A blight happens when dark spawn find an old god and corrupt it into an archdemon. If someone fought through the deep roads and killed the old gods before they could be corrupted, woof, no more blights, ever. The Wardens sacrificed their lives and saved the world.
That's madness. For all we know, killing the old gods could make things even worse.
Well then, it's a good thing I'm taking this demon army off their hands.
And Corypheus made them do this?
So Corypheus influenced the Wardens and made them do this ritual?
Made them? No. Everything you see here, the blood sacrifices to bind the demons, the Wardens did it of their own free will. Fear is a very good motivator, and they were very afraid.
That's a lie. The Grey Wardens are heroes. They would never do this willingly.
The Grey Wardens care about nothing save stopping blights. They will do anything to accomplish that. You should have seen Clarel agonize over the decision. Burdens of command, I suppose.
Have I seen worse? I'm not too sure. Let the Wardens go.
Release the Wardens from the binding and surrender. I won't ask twice.
No, you won't. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you, in the event you're foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your hand, his gratitude will be... Ah! Kill them!
Mark of the Rift, all easily enough.
They refused to listen to reason.
You were correct. Through their ritual, the mages are slaves to Corypheus.
And the Warden warriors? Of course. Sacrificed in the ritual. What a waste.
They've gone too... I want to say they've gone too far. That would take me down a road that I don't want to go down. How could they do this?
Human sacrifice? Demon summoning? Who looks at this and thinks it's a good idea?
The fearful and the foolish.
The Wardens were wrong, Hawk, but they had their reasons.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
I believe I know where the Wardens are, Your Worship. Herrimond fled in that direction. There's an abandoned Warden fortress that way. Adamant.
That would make sense.
I guess they didn't want to summon a demon army out in public.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.
There was one small slip up that Lord Livius Eramond of Virantium made. Through him we find out that we can pass safely through the veil. Sure, Corypheus does say he used it to... He was going to use it to open... That he was going to use it to do that. But through Eramond, that's how we found we could pass through it safely. A letter found on a Grey Warden mage, Mishan. I don't trust this ritual Clorel is talking about. Are you sure it's safe? Have you ever used blood magic? I don't care what the Chantry says. I doubt they'd approve of joining if they knew everything about us, but my family fought to Vinter, slavers near the border. This Ehremund sounds like everything that's wrong with the Imperium. I'll be waiting for you when you get back. If you can look me in the eye and tell me that this ritual is safe, I won't speak of it again. Just come back safe. Please. Chernoff. Well, there is a game functioning error. Lord Livius Ehremund of Varantium was standing up here and walked to his right. Now, did he jump? I'm pretty sure there's no teleportation magic. Just a bit of a misdirection. It's like, oh yeah, sure, let's put them up there. I mean, sure, might as well have done it in the keep over there. That's where that is. Ay ay ay. There you go, I'm going to read this plaque here. The Gate Guardians. And as I walked in the desert, I saw a great armoured figure whose form blotted out the sky. At first, I took it to be no more than met the eye. A simple, spiked statue, but as I approached, the deceptive icon transformed into a warrior as graceful as it was massive. Its bladed staff levelled at me with energy, crackling from its tip. Though my position was hardly optimal, primal magic burned a few feet from my face. I kept my wits and asked this mighty golem to show me mercy. The armoured figure spoke with a voice to make the sky quake and stars scream. It sought magic to keep itself alive, it said, and the blood of the earth was the energy on which it survived. Having knowledge of the dwarves and the lyrium they provided to our mages, I directed the golem to the mage Atrinus, who lived in the nearby Perivantium, and it left without another word. That is the inspiration for the Gate Guardians I have designed, as fanciful a tale as it might seem. As for why I have asked that each Guardian cast from my designs be inset with a small lyrium rod, I must primarily state that it is mere fancy. If Archon Ishael, gentle autocrat that he is, sees fit to ensure that my statues are known across the Empire, I hear that one shall stand in the western approach. I would treasure the small hope that someday I might see one walk again. A tale told by Appius Trius, famed sculptor whose creations all sparked the imagination of those who beheld them, from artists of ancient Vinter. It is quite striking. There are more of them. They don't move, but there are more of them. I think that's going to make things ahead here. Our next ambitious act will be to take the keep, but I'm going to leave that for now. Hey there guys, that will be the end of this episode of Dragon Age Inquisition. We will continue the western approach, and once we finish that, it will be on to Adamant, and hopefully by the time we're at Adamant, I will have slain the dragon. Maybe. Anyway, thanks guys, and I will see you in the next one.